So, got my other package in just now. This is my control arms for my truck, my ball joints, my sway bar end link, my steering idler, my inner and outer tie rods, pretty much my whole steering system, with the exception of my steering pump, which just broke on me today. So probably gonna record putting that bad boy in as well. So here are my end links, my sway bar end links. This is one of my tie rods. One of my lovely upper control arms. My steering idler pulley, I think they call it. I'm not sure what exactly it's called, but it's part of the steering idler. It's the steering idler, I call it itself. One of my lower ball joints. The inner tie rod sleeves, alignment sleeves. The other one of them. You can see they're all lettered and numbered. Another tie rod right there. The other ball joint right there. Third tie rod. Fourth tie rod. So this truck has 4 tie rods. This truck has 4 tie rods. And you can see right here, that's that sleeve. This one right here is the outer tie rod. That's the inner tie rod. So there's 2 on both sides. The power steering's control arm. This is for right here. This goes onto it right here. I'll show you guys exactly how to do all this. That's the idler right there that I was just saying some people call it an idler pulley. But it goes right here, these 2 bolts to the arm right there. It goes all the way over to here. Now I can see the tie rod a little better. So that's the outer, that's the inner, the sleeve, the bolts for it. And all of the parts that I have, see the grease fitting goes right here. All the parts that I got have the re-greasable fittings. Certs are all in the package, but they're pre-greased. See the grease from the boot right there. Boot's a little lifted off, but it's not biggie. They pop on and off all the time. You just push them right back down. See, voila, popped right back on. It's not that big of a deal. And as UPS showed up, I was actually working on pulling out the power steering pump while I wait for that to get delivered to my AutoZone store so I can pick that up. And this is my other upper control arm, 24 and 22. So I have to look at this sheet, which I'm hoping tells me which it doesn't. So I'll have to look at them because they do look a little different. Sweet. Yeah, you can see there's a knuckle on one side but not on the other. So the knuckle's here. It's not here and here. So on the truck, stick my head under here. There's no knuckle here. Oh, it's right there. Right there's a knuckle. I was talking about right here. This little bump. So whichever one has the bump, it's like this on the back side, goes to this side right here. They come with the bushings already in them on the new ones. You see the bushings right here. Comes with the grease fitting for the boot right here for the ball joint, because right there is my ball joint, my upper ball joint. So this one is actually my passenger side. The dessert fitting goes right in that. That's for the bolt that goes there. I'm gonna show you guys how this all goes together in a little while. I'm still working on the power steering pump problem. That's number one at the moment. So when I bought my truck, I didn't have sway bar end links. You can see the sway bar right here. So I already put that sway bar link on. You can see the bolt sticking out right there underneath. So now I'm going to show you guys how to put this one on. So in the package is the proper layout for how it goes in. You want to put it in just like so. I'll show you how to do it. So when I bought my truck, I didn't have sway bar end links. You can see the sway bar right here. So I already put that sway bar link on. You can see the bolt sticking out right there underneath. So now I'm going to show you guys how to put this one on. So in the package is the proper layout for how it goes in. You want to put it in just like so. I'll show you how to do it. So I don't know if you guys can see this or not. You're gonna want to take this all off. This is just a long bolt. That's all the sway bar end link is. And I like to drop it just like so onto the ground. This one belongs up here. And if you look at the bushings themselves, you can see how the little O-ring washer things fit on. They drop on, they cup onto the top real easy up here. You can see this actually falls into the holes on the sway bar end, and it puts a gap. If you put the washer on like this, it doesn't fit right. But if you put it on this way, like I have it already on the bolt from when it came in, that's how it should look. So then, drop the push bolt onto there, just like so. And you grab the next bushing. Let's see if I can prop you guys up right here somewhere. I don't know if I'll be able to. Use a wide angle lens. You'll be able to see what I'm doing. So you get it like this. Then pull up. This cushion goes on like so. Then this long tube slides up on. That's how the top half will look. Then the next bushing, gotta carefully do this. It might be a little hard when being by myself to do this. You see how it goes with the metal washer, just like this is upside down. And that's how the top part is supposed to look. So you can see the bolt up here, metal washer, bushing, the sway bar, bushing, metal washer, the rod, the tube rod thing. I don't know what exactly it's called. Metal washer, bushing. Then when we come back down here, we go. We grab our nut and the other bushing and washer. I'm gonna just drop you guys on the floor right underneath it for a second. Like quickly slip this in, just like so. And then you can see there's like not that much threading showing right now, but it's all right. Just push down on the sway bar with all your weight. Start threading it in, just like that. It's threaded on. Me, I use 14 mil ratchets instead for this kit. I have a normal ratchet like this. This one, the silver one on the top. Find the bolt, line it up so you guys can see the bolt moves. Then because this is a long bolt, I'm gonna use my pass-through ratchet set. Make sure I got this going the right way, which I don't think I do. So, let me quickly switch my pass-through. I have a pass-through ratchet right here. And just start cranking on her. And turn literally either one you want to turn. Oh, slipped off. You might have to use a deep socket instead. I might even have to. I'm not sure. On the other side, I used a wrench and a normal socket on top. The wrench just right here where my pass-through currently is. I'm just carefully tightening it up slowly. So the sway bar is just starting to make contact on the bottom of the bushing, the top of the bushing on the bottom side. So I know I still got a little bit of distance I gotta go. Well, my hand slipped, covered in grease, because like I said, I was doing power steering pump when UPS came and delivered this. So because I didn't have sway bar links, I wanted to just quickly do this since I ain't gotta remove anything. And this isn't going to be in the way for the rest of it. So, knock this all out real quick. You can hear my truck creaking and everything as I'm going. That's because this is going to pull the whole suspension up here down a little bit. I could do these bushings here. These are my sway bar bushings. But I don't know how long it didn't have the sway bar end links, because these look pretty clean, pretty new, not wobbled out or anything. This little gap you see here is normal. But my truck also does have a lift kit, so I gotta be a little careful on these sway bar links. Matter of fact, probably gonna call that good on mine. Only for the fact of, like I said, I do have a lift. So these aren't the proper height for the 4x4 with a lift on it. There's extensions that these you can buy longer. But my lift kit is body lift, so it's not that this area is different, or this is different, or this is different. It's this right here lifts up the body, so you guys can see. This is the lift. The frame. This is the frame mount that goes up. But it shouldn't mess with my lift at all, because I'm not doing anything above the frame to the body. But even then, the weight of the vehicle with a little bit of a lift, this will get really hard, and I gotta look up the torque exactly they want these two and do that. So I'll get to that in a little while, and I'll show you guys the torque spec on it. Okay, so I'm doing the steering idler arm. It's these two bolts and this cowsill nut. I already broke them all loose because I injured my hand, so I gotta be really careful with this. I got 5 stitches in my hand. So I'm gonna record with this hand when I start doing stuff because can't get any of this nasty stuff in it. So saw 21 millimeters for all of them. Unscrew this. Like I said, I broke it free off camera because, yeah, hand injured, kind of hard to record and you know, do this. This castle nut comes off. There was a cotter pin in it. I do several different ways of removing cotter pins. It all depends on how bad the cotter pin is. But try to unbend the legs and grab the head and pull it out. It can go any direction depending on who the hell installed it. So if that way don't work, if they're really old and rusted and jammed in there, it's gonna be a little harder. But I did it with the tie rod ends as well. Oh, I already removed my tie rod end, the old one. But so I'll show you how to do the tie rods when I do the other side. I'm only working on this half the truck right now. But you can see these are loose right now. They should be loose when they're brand new, and they are brand new. So if they're rusted in and you can't really get the cotter pin to come out, just go onto it with a ratchet, wrench, whatever, and just heave-ho it with a lot of force. It'll snap the head on the legs off. And just keep going that way until it comes out. Because even like this one I'm probably gonna have to fight with over here, but I'm not ready for that yet. I'm also currently fighting with the upper control arm. One bolt is seized in the bushing. You can see that bushing's out. The upper ball joint right there, I got that all the way out. It's just on the other side of the shock right there is the one that's being the pain. And as you can see, there's the sway bar end links in. So, oh shit, be careful with that hand, John. Switch back to this one. Take that castle nut out. All the nuts currently are 21 mils that I'm working on. As well. So how I break really hard nuts and bolts loose, like these, I'll grab that, put it on like this, and then slip it and use that to go down. Like I have to go down just like that. That'll give you more leverage. Like I said though, I already broke these suckers loose that way, so I'm gonna finish getting them out. Then once I get it out, I'll show you guys me pulling this whole thing out. Then I gotta grab the brand new fuck. So I'm gonna show you guys how I get the nuts broken loose. I already have them loose. Put the right size wrench on there, and this is how I manually do it. So if you can get something in that's easier, go ahead. I don't have anything that's easier, so I'm doing it this way. But you put the wrench in like that, then you put a second wrench like this, and you can just boom, gives you better leverage. I'm gonna stop a little bit because my hand's starting to hurt a little bit, so when I have this out more, I'll probably stop. But you can see they're broken loose now. Free spinning. So once that's like that, nah, that's not loose enough yet for me to just spin them out. But I'll get you guys again on the camera when I get the idler out all the way and I start to put the new one in, show you how to put the new one in. Double check that they're the right size, all that fun stuff. So I'm doing the upper control arm on this side. I already broke all the nuts loose because, again, injured. They're all 21 millimeters. You have to break this nut the way I showed you over on the other side, where you interlock 2 wrenches. Ow. You take the wrench you need, put it on like that, then take a second wrench and you hook it like so, and you pull. This side is not being a pain in the butt like the other side is. This nut I already have all the way out. I just left it in because I got a little bit of a fight still to do to bang that out, to bang this bulge, the upper ball joint out of the socket right here. They're tapered so they stay in. Then I got this nut broken free. Grab my 21 mil. Just keep wrenching on it. As you can see, right here's a fuel line. Do not want to get anything hot near that. You get that hot, you have a bad day. And you can see this side spins freely a little bit. That free spin is a good thing because that means I'm not gonna have the fight I have on the other side. On the other side, I'm cutting the nut because it's seized in the bushing. So you can see the ring, the metal ring here, and the metal ring right here, then the rubber. So inside the rubber is not holding onto anything, but the metal rings on here are stuck to this bolt. So I'm gonna have to cut the bolt and just buy a new bolt for it. After a while of fighting with it, I gave up. So it's still hooked up. I'm gonna need my neighbor to help me cut the bolt. I can't hold my Sawzall to cut it really. He's at work, but he's gonna come over and help me when he gets off of work. This bolt should just slide right out now. Come on. Yeah, there we go. See? That's good. That means it's not seized. I'm not gonna want to kill myself on that. I don't have to, and I'm not going to. Now all that's left is this. That's the washer for the camber bolt over here. Here's the other one. The other side. You don't want to lose those. You can try to tap this in all different directions. Tap it here if you can. My camber bolts are falling out right now. So let me get them to slide back in a little bit more. Working, so what I'm gonna do to make this a little easier, slide these bolts back in, just grab their nuts so they don't bounce out anymore. Put the nut back on, just finger tight, just so the bolts stop bouncing out. And you can probably tell by looking at this already, my ball joints are shot on the upper. So just gotta beat the living daylights out of it. If not, if it doesn't go that way, I can grab a ball press, push it up on there, or grab a puller, hook it up here, just tighten it down, it'll pull up on it and push down on this piece. But I currently don't have those tools. My neighbor might have them, I'm not sure. But I'm just gonna beat it out. And if I can't get it out that way, I'll resort to those afterwards. I'll come back to y'all when I get this out and start putting in the new one. So I just stopped recording a second ago and I was trying to pry, and this ring isn't the problem. It's just in the way of me showing you it. You can see all that rust in there. That's the problem with why it's not coming out easy. So I'm gonna spray a bunch of penetrating oil on it, let it sit for a couple hours, eat breakfast because I haven't eaten breakfast yet. And it's like 10 o'clock already. So we eat breakfast, soak that with some penetrate oil, then come back and beat the living daylights out of it. It'll more than likely pop. So I'm starting on the tie rod ends. I broke this nut loose. I can't get to that one until I turn my wheel all the way to the right. But again, same thing. You can put the 21 onto it. Let's see if I can at least break this free. Maybe I can break it free and show you guys that. So let's go to the wide angle for y'all. I don't know how well you guys can see it, or if you can see it at all, to be honest with y'all. Well, my idler arm is off, so that's causing me some issues right now. So I have to show you guys that later. But if you've seen what I was doing, that's what I was talking about, how I do it. I gotta get the whole fucking, all the parts over there off, so I still got that fight later. So I'll show you guys that. The idler arm is not that black thing, but right in front of it, you can see the nut. It goes up to that little black piece right here, over to the frame right there. It's this right there. I have it unmounted, just not broken off the arm. Actually, there we go. And focus. That right there, right before the black. See the nut where the cotter pin was supposed to, the bolt, where the cotter pin goes through, right there. Goes up, right there, over, over there. You can't even see it because it's not in focus. So as you can tell, got that to work free. You can see the rust. Didn't get too deep into here. It's just rusted around the top. So all I really did was I have a map gas torch. Heated the living daylights. I heated the living daylights out of right here. And I also took an old pocket knife of mine and I scraped on here, breaking a lot of the rust up. Using soapy water, I got all the rust to pretty much just go break free. You can tell that's gone, that's done. I mean, this wobble should not be that easy to do. It's rusted all up in there as well. The boot was broken and non-existent pretty much. So I'm gonna take some more cleaner, clean this socket out, get the upper control arm out, throw the new one in. Not fully, I'm not gonna connect it to this side because when I do this ball joint, I'm going to have to, so I'm gonna put it in properly, but I'm not gonna put the cotter pin in. And I'm not gonna sit here and torque it all the way down, because when time comes for this, I'm gonna have to remove my CV axle right here, because this is a 4-wheel drive pickup truck. So I got this nut I gotta remove. I already removed the castle cap and the cotter pin that goes to here. This cotter pin, I don't have a replacement for. It did not come in the kit, but I have this cotter pin still is good, so I'm not gonna replace it. I'll just put it back in when I put this back together. My rotor on this side's not too bad yet, but I am going to be replacing these pretty soon because they've been on this truck for I don't know how long, and you can see scoring all the way around it. So I'm gonna replace the calipers and the brake pads here soon. I mean, you can tell even my brake pads are pretty worn, but that's for another project day for me. My boot on my CV is pretty destroyed. I'm gonna be getting a new CV as well soon. I don't know when exactly, but I'm gonna replace this CV. Might not, I don't know. I might just replace the boot because it doesn't look like the CV itself is that bad. But that's another day as well. Right now we're gonna do this control arm kit first. So with the new upper control arm, it's got this plastic cup on it to protect the rubber boot. So you remove the castle nut, you slide that, get rid of that, that's garbage. I like to keep the castle nut on so it doesn't get damaged when I fight to put it bucket in there. All it is reverse, you just slide it in, get the two nuts in, bolts in, get the nuts on, try to align it the best you can how it was, then get it back into here. So I got tired of using the hammer. It wasn't working. So I went and I bought this kit at Harbor Freight. It's got all the pullers, spreaders, removers, and all that. So I used this one to remove the idler arm because banging it wasn't working, so got it with that. But you have all these options to get it done. It was 80 bucks, something like that, so kinda need it. Been wanting to buy it for a while, so I splurged and bought it.